So Brian Debus, you're the principal of Menindee Central School here in Menindee, which is part of Central Darling Shire, part of the wonderful Outback New South Wales.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your project Enterprise Park and what does it mean for the local kids?
The Enterprise Park is a strategy to open up training opportunities and future employment here in Menindee. That's the long and short of it. We've got our accommodation, we've got our outsourcing to other places where we actually support kids to get their traineeships completed.
Yeah. And there's also a radio station in the facility that you've managed to put here on the school grounds.
Yeah, the radio, which is going to have increasingly greater content next year.
Is that what's the technology behind the radio off the top of your head?
It's just simply it's a narrowband licence, which is supposed to only get 20, but we get about 50 Ks.
Yeah. And who uses that facility, Brian?
It's basically used by the school. We have literacy strategies that are working with our kids to give them that ability to talk. And behind a microphone, so much easier than face to face.
Exactly. And what's the percentage of the Indigenous kids to the non-Indigenous in the region here at your school?
It varies. It varies from probably about 59% up to about 95%. The further you go up the ladder, and also too it's changed a little because we've got a lot of families coming to the school here.
Yes, yes.
Teachers' families and they're non-Aboriginal.
Right. And in terms of interest levels with the kids at this school and technology, how, on a scale of 1 to 10, get imaginative here perhaps, but how do the kids take to technology like the internet, radio stations, making videos, playing with iPhones or playing with e-readers and games on computers and so on? How do the kids take
We've just got our school certificate results, and that's our very best subject. And many of our kids, well, they're all considered competent, and several are highly competent. That's the best result of all of our
programs. Do you also, in terms of the emerging tourism industry, you've got the young ones are learning through the facility, the strategy that you've got going through Enterprise Park. How would tourism operators benefit from some of the students in your area? Are they coming out well educated in the tourism fields, hospitality? How do the kids take to that industry?
We should come earlier, and I'm not quite sure whether there's any left, but we're just finishing up a 10-day intensive course where we now are totally independent of parents, adults, to be able to provide our tea, coffee, cakes for our Sunday cafe. This is an incredible jump, and then early next year we'll do the second stage, which will mean that they can put 3 or 4 complete meals on without any supervision. We've come to it really is magnificent, and every Sunday we have a cafe on the train or cafe on the platform. We've got professional entertainers, we have guests, people who come along, and a huge improvement, a huge jump this year.
So okay, tell the world now, Brian, if you're a tourist and you're sitting in Melbourne right now watching this YouTube video, how do they get to come and stay in the accommodation at Enterprise Park? They
can go through the Broken Hill Tourist Bureau. They can go directly through to our school, and we do have a telephone number. Don't ask me what it is, but we do have a communication now up to the train direct.
Don't worry, we'll put it in the document with the video so that people can see that.
Yeah.
So,
and can I just give you the most exciting part? Yes. That we've just now signed a contract with CountryLink, and CountryLink Outback is featuring it under the promotion of Stepping Off at Menindee, bound for Broken Hill.
Wow.
So, and this is arriving Monday night. Tuesday they get a School of the Year type presentation with our access program out to the Darling River, the Kinchiga National Park, and a cultural dinner that night with our students performing, making Johnny cakes themselves, kangaroo, the whole lot. And then the Tuesday is they start up at the radio station in our breakfast program. They get to be interviewed on the air, and then at the end of their stay they'll get a CD to take home. This is when I was on the air in Menindee. And then out to the lakes, and then we do have a highly accomplished chef who runs our canteen, and she's going to put on a gourmet dinner, and then we're having just a presentation of the history of this area each Wednesday night. So it's a really good thing. We're incorporating the traineeships into that for both the hospitality, for the tourism as part of the Kitchiga tour.
Oh, fabulous! Well, I tell
It
you
is. That's been really big.
And how long is this going to run for?
Well, run.
As long as possible.
It will become so popular that we might even have to get a second sleeping carriage. That's our aim.
Let's make it the aim, and it's now in digital form and out there for all the tourists in Sydney and across the country to get on board.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian.
That's okay.